Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So Ethereum lost the ascending trend line, which is getting interesting now. We have not yet broken below 1560, but if we do that, we could literally come down quite a bit. I've put some money aside to accumulate ETH should we get into this area, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Overall, Ethereum, performed very nicely, hit various of my target areas. It has completed a first impulse. This doesn't necessarily need to be complete yet, but it can be, especially now that we broke below the ascending trend line. And in line with that, yesterday, my statement that I made in the Telegram group and Discord for channel members that I'm starting to take profits. I think it was around 1650. I could be wrong. Could be wrong, or even a bit higher I can't remember. Was correct and was hopefully helpful, because there is a chance, and that all has to do with risk management. Nobody has a crystal ball. We can only play this market by looking at probabilities. And I mean, all of this down here was accumulation phase for anybody who wanted to get into ETH. I showed it in the Bitcoin video. I posted on Twitter on exactly this low, on the day where we made this low, that we are close to the low and due to the biggest rally since the all-time high. The only question is if it will be a corrective rally or an impulsive one that can lead to new all-time highs. The biggest rally since the all-time high. I think that played out perfectly. We moved, and I don't even take the absolute low here, we moved up 80%, more than 80% from that low, and that, I believe, was the biggest rally since the all-time high. Could be wrong though. I don't think I am. And yeah, this played out so far. We then counted this very nicely as an impulse, as a 1 and a 2, which was absolutely correct to count it that way. We then reached my wave 3 target. That was at the time the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. Could just take a look at that. So again, a lot of money could have been made here. 1.618 extension, perfect. Yeah, we reached it. We then came down in a wave 4. Here I told you we're probably going to come down in a wave 4, which we did. We hit the reversal area. We moved up again. And here we are now. We then came down, by the way, again into my reversal area, and we reversed out of this. So you can see it's working out. I'm actually quite pleased, because obviously what I try to do on this channel is I try to produce and give you additional value that helps you to make better decisions. Of course, I don't want to make the decisions for you. You need to make the decisions yourself. That's why I never answer questions about is it too late to buy or not. I can tell you what I'm doing, but you work hard for your money. You can't trust anybody, really. You shouldn't trust me. You should always only trust yourself. But of course, you can use this information here that I put out, which is hopefully helpful to make better decisions, hopefully, for yourself. And I told you when we reached this area up here that there were 2 or 3 possibilities. Primary expectation was, and it's getting challenging for this primary expectation now, that we are going to go higher, that this was only the first wave of the last wave of this impulse, because even here, when you look at the wave count, we had this blue wave 1, the blue wave 2, the blue wave 3, everything worked out, the blue wave 4, everything worked out, we moved higher, everything worked out, and theoretically we could have completed this wave 5 already. It would be a bit weak for that, to be honest. That is why my primary expectation sort of is that we go even higher, that this was only the wave 1 of that wave 5, this the wave 2 of the wave 5, next we would get the wave 3 of the wave 5, and so on. This is getting less likely now that we have broken below the ascending trend line. I always tell you, wait for these signals. And I'm considering now that I make actually this my primary expectation, that we have already seen the 5th wave. And that is also due my view that the Nasdaq is now due a correction at some point. So that could push down the crypto market a little bit, even though I don't really like correlations and look at that, but it is just sort of another indicator to keep in mind. And that is also why I mentioned yesterday, taking some profits. That's what I'm doing. I'm staying in long trade, because the trade, I'm staying long. I'm not selling everything, absolutely not, but I'm selling at the moment in stages, taking profits from what I accumulated lower, to make sure I take some profits now at the end of wave 1, and I don't know, nobody knows. Nobody knows if the end of wave 1 was here or if it will come a little bit higher. So that's what nobody knows. Therefore, taking profits in stages. Still, though, staying long in basically not selling everything to ride the trend further. Another opportunity, another possibility to do this is to move up a stop loss, and then we come down. And to be honest, for everybody who's looking forward to accumulate now, the scenario where we come down straight away would actually be better, because if we now move higher and higher, I showed it to you, I believe it was in the, was it the Matic video? No, I can't remember which video it was, but I think it was, maybe it was even Bitcoin. But the thing is, if we now move higher, yeah, then these targets, they go higher as well. So I think it was actually the last Ethereum video where I showed it to you earlier today. So let's assume the low is already, the high is already in here. We're now coming down in this accumulation phase or area between 1230 and 1440. That would be an area where I would again buy after taking some profits here, buying again here. And should we now go higher before we come down, you can see how those, how that target area would move up, because it is always between the 38.2% and the 61.8% fib level, where I would set, not always, but in most cases, where I would set a reversal area like that in such a wave correction, and this would then be higher. Yeah, so obviously when you try to accumulate again, it would be better if we retrace now, as otherwise we will be at much higher levels before retracing and also after retracing. So having a long-term view in mind, coming down now would actually be better. I hope that makes sense. So at the moment, yeah, it's not entirely clear. I think if we lose 1560, then definitely the immediate retracement down into this area will become the primary expectation. At the moment, we could still expect that we go higher, even though we had dropped below the trend line. But based on the Elliott Waves, we can still count this as a 1 and a 2. So as long as we stay above 1560, we can focus on higher. It's important to stay consistent and not just swap scenarios if we just like to, but it needs to make sense. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a clear picture of where we can be heading. So if you don't know what to do now, I wouldn't do anything at the moment, yeah, because one possibility is to take some profits here, but only if you are in profit, yeah, I think, and then accumulate down here, yeah, and just wait how this is now playing out. That's how I play it, yeah, like no financial advice for you. Okay, so that's my view about Ethereum. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.